So we're back from the VGC guide, and this time we're looking at Chandelure. This is actually a pretty decent Trick Room setter, mainly because it's a Trick Room setter that can do the damage itself. 145 special attack is massive. It's the tied strongest that we have available in the game right now. So it does very good damage itself. Its bulk is fine. It probably does need the Focus Sash. But the thing that's probably putting people off from using Chandelure, because it probably needs the Focus Sash, is the Rapid Strike Urshifu just KOing it through the Focus Sash anyway. But otherwise, this is actually pretty decent in Trick Room. It's slow enough. Like, it's a little bit fast, but it's slow enough that if you min speed it, it's underspeeding most things if you're going for some kind of Trick Room strategy. Then you just spam Strong Attack. Shadow Ball is the strongest Ghost Attack can go for. Heat Wave is just good spread damage. It's being able to consistently, I was about to say chip away at the opponent. It will do a good chunk of damage because its special attack is so high. But you can actually go pretty fast with the Chandelure as well. You can absolutely max out its speed and then go Imprison Trick Room to be able to stop opposing Trick Room. So if you put this on a faster pace team that goes for Tailwind instead, then this is a very viable Imprison Trick Room setter to be able to stop the opposing Trick Room. Because it will still be able to do massive damage with its massive special attack stat, and then it will be fast enough on the Tailwind kind of teams. Offensive terrors are surely the way to go with Focus Sash, because then you just aren't caring about your bulk. You don't really need a defensive terror. So Fire or Ghost either is fine to be able to do as much damage as possible. Ghost should allow the Chandelure to one-shot a Flutter Mane. Shadow Ball won't get it otherwise, so do consider it to Terra Ghost, even though the Heat Wave would be hitting both Pokemon and objectively doing more damage, so Fire might be a better way to go. If you really want to be able to do the damage in Trick Room, like I said, this is going to be a Pokemon that will do the damage. Therefore, Life Orb is going to be one of the ways you can do the most amount of damage. However, it's not a recommended moveset with these moves. The Life Orb is, on this moveset, can be very viable. But these are other moves that to be able to put onto that Trick Room set. Overheat is the most amount of damage you can do, so therefore should be considered. This will KO a lot of things in one shot. A Life Orb, Overheat, with Terra Fire as well on top of that. That's a lot of KOs. It's not quite Chi-Yu levels, like, you know, that's the strongest we have, but it's getting close, so it's definitely worth considering. Flamethrower is consistent. Heat Wave and Overheat both can miss. Flamethrower does not, therefore consistent. And some players, myself included, like to go for the consistent options at this point. Clear Smog is going to be clearly for Dondozos, obviously, but other setup Pokemon, it's pretty decent for as well. Consider Clear Smog to be able to, like, Clear Smog yourself as your Pokemon in Trick Room is trying to sweep and it's been intimidated, for example. There's other uses of Clear Smog that is very viable on Chandelure. Definitely wouldn't have it on a Life Orb set, though. Burning Jealousy is a consistent spread move. Like I said, Flamethrower is consistent. Burning Jealousy is a consistent, it will always hit spread move, while also having a nice effect as well, that sometimes you will be able to burn if they've got a stat raise. Kind of into Dondozo, not as much. Clear Smog is definitely going to be a way to go for that. But there's plenty of Pokemon that are trying to set up at the moment. Burning Jealousy would be nice while being consistent. I did mention that Chandelure doesn't have much bulk. If you do invest completely into bulk, because of its high special attack, you don't need to invest into its bulk, into its special attack. Sorry, you can invest into its bulk. You do want the Citrus Berry if you're going for that. Like, safety goggles and all that is good on Trick Room setters, but if your bulk is kind of average like this, the Citrus Berry definitely helps to patch it up a reasonable amount. So, Citrus Berry, if you're going with the bulky set, you'll still be able to do very good damage, even with just quiet in nature and no special attack investment. But again, this is not a recommended moveset on the bulky set. These are other moves. These are supported moves that can be fit onto the Trick Room set. These are offensive moves here. These are the supported ones. Taunt's always good. Shut down the shenanigans. You know what Taunt does. We know what Will-O-Wisp does. Burning is a good thing. The format is mainly physical, so being able to get those burns is going to be pretty good. Calm Mind turns you into somewhat of a sweeper. However, it's going to be a little bit hard to get into positions where a Calm Mind is good. Maybe it's punishing a double protecting Trick Room, but the special defense boost is going to be okay and won't really save you from the special attacks that are coming through until you get quite a few Calm Minds. Offensively, it would be great though. Even just a +1, given the fact that your special attack is so high, will turn you into, turn Chandelure into way more able to KO a load of Pokemon in one shot. Haze is much more consistent at dealing with opposing stat changes. Clear Smog, for example, can hit into steel. Can't hit into steels, I should say. Haze will be able to do that. It'll be able to bypass any redirection. So Haze is the consistent option. Clear Smog is the way of doing a little bit of chip as well. So definitely consider Haze if you want to be getting rid of all those stat drops. Chandelure, it's a good Trick Room setter. Like, seriously, it's a good Trick Room setter because it can do the damage. However, not many people are using it. It does kind of need a certain team to be able to fit on properly.